So hey everyone, welcome back to Pearls of Wisdom. Here we are, day 2 of the challenge. The challenge that I explained yesterday was a 50 plus challenge for 10 days to make a video, talk about whatever you want or make the channel whatever you want. So I'm still standing, so I made it through. I want it to be very organic, so I didn't make any changes or edits to the video yesterday, and I noticed I had some so ands and ums, but who cares? It's like I am out and I stepped up and I'm doing it. So, yahoo! Today I went and voted. I hope you guys did too. By the time you find this, it'll be tomorrow. So it'll be a day past the voting, but it's not going to end there. So no matter who you voted for, I think we're in for a little bit of a rough ride. Of course, obviously over the last 4 years, it's been a little rough, but I think it's going to be a wild ride, kind of like Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Not that I endorse that anymore. But anyways, so buckle up. I'm not buckled at the moment, but anyway, what I'm doing to prepare is I'm thinking about things of what I'm going to do, how I'm going to prepare, how I can best navigate what's happening until we can start seeing some change that hopefully will benefit all of us. So that means, trying to, reduce some debt and possibly, reduce costs on things, which is like, that drives me crazy when they have those. There's a certain store here that they put out coupons, and then you got to play the games that there's this exclusion and that exclusion. So, I want to start changing the mentality is just because something's on sale, it's not a deal unless you need something or that you want something. So I thought I was being smart, and I thought, all right, this is my way to save money. I'm not going there, on their little coupon deal, because I usually can't find anything anyway. And then I started looking, and I'm like, oh shoot, it was like $10 off of 50, and then it was 20 or 30% off of your purchase, and then they had sent me a coupon for $15, and I'm like, oh, and I didn't feel like going. And then I saw that it expired, and I'm like, really? I'm like, And then today I went to go to another store because I needed something, and I didn't use that coupon. So you look at it and it's like, oh shoot, in those cases then you've missed out on your your value. So it's like, well, I guess those things happen, but what are you going to do? You just do the best that you can do and try to make it. Speaking about making it good for you, yesterday when I was doing errands, I had seen this van on the road, and I'm like, hey, I just saw that van the other day. And it's kind of funny because the other day I saw him and I'm like, oop, it's like security alert. It's like it was this really it was this really scary van, and it had this black taped up back window. It had big holes of rust, and it had mismatched tires. It was in pretty rough shape. It was kind of funny that it even ran. And so then I saw that it was a younger guy, that he was just doing deliveries, and I'm like, okay, crisis averted, there's nothing to see here, and went on about my way. Well, yesterday I saw the same guy and in a totally different city, and I'm like, hey, that's the same van. And my paradigm has shifted since I started my video, where I'm looking for the good, and to make life how I want it to be, and to spread some wisdom. And I thought, you know what, good for him. He patched that van together as best as he probably can, And he is making it. He is going out there and he is making deliveries. And I thought, good for him. And I thought that was pretty awesome. And I'm on my journey to find out what I want to do. And I'm inviting you along on this journey to see where you want to make a difference in your life or in the world. So that leads me in. Yesterday, I ended with talking about the dash between the dates. And if you can see over my shoulder, guess where we're at? We're at the perfect place to talk about the dash between the dates. We all have a beginning, which is our birth date, and then there's the dash, and then there's our end date. And we haven't reached our end date, thank goodness, yet, but we're here to determine what do we want to put in that dash. So it's something that I've been thinking about. And when I was doing the video yesterday, it's like my mind, I've got the conversation in my head, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to talk about this and that. And the conversation goes great in my head, but it's a challenge getting on here and just talking about stuff. And here we go with the ands again, but it's all good, right? It's all good. I would like for this channel to be organic, to be off the cuff, to evolve as it's going to, but more so than anything is just to come from the heart. And that's what I want for you to bring to the channel, for us to laugh, look back at things from years ago, even though, today it might hurt somebody's feelings. But I want this to be fun. I want it to be a party. And if you want to be a turd in a punch bowl, there's probably another channel out there for you, but this isn't it. We are going to have fun. We are going to look at the little pearls of wisdom that's out there for us. And I was just thinking, I thought, life's a box of chocolates. This night might not be for everyone, but we have a choice. And lo and behold, the synchronicity that I was talking about yesterday, I went into the store. Here's a box of chocolates sitting there, and it's the 30-year anniversary for Forrest Gump. It's like, what great timing, But I want to do something fun. And so the other day, I thought, what happened to that fun person that I used to be? And so I was at Walmart, and it was a beautiful day. And I was coming out of the store, and all of a sudden I gave the cart a big push and jumped on and just started pushing with one foot and rode through the parking lot. And I come up to the back of my vehicle and I turned around, and there was these two lovely young gals coming up, and they were just smiling. And I said, it keeps you young. And she just laughed, and she said, she says, you're really beautiful. And I just responded, I said, thank you. And normally I don't respond like that. I just usually will say something like, oh, it's very kind for you to say something, and just brush it off like, yeah, whatever. But for some reason, that right then and there, in that point in time, created a shift. And I'm sure she has no idea what she did for me in my shift. And I didn't want to just automatically come back with a blank, oh yeah, you too. That just seems so empty. I want, to come back to that genuineness that people have, because we have seemed to have lost that over these recent years. And she was the most beautiful spirit. And I hope someday that perhaps she might happen upon this channel and know that she too is a beautiful spirit, and she's spreading it in her own way. So that might be a little bit of a pearl of wisdom for today that we can take. And I have, tons of notes. I had to write them down because, like I said, my mind was just reeling like, the fishing reel on, like you're catching a big fish. I've got some notes, and maybe tomorrow we'll start digging in and seeing what are you doing today to fill in the dash between your dates? Hope to see you tomorrow on Pearls of Wisdom. You have a beautiful day. Thanks.